strategies are. There we go. The recording has started. Then I'm going to hand over to David because we've got a very special event within our programming in Oslo where we're working to encourage conservators and museum professionals to use the SDGs in their strategic thinking. And David's going to explain a little bit about that. And we're going to do a soft launch for a poll that we are organizing. And we will finish off today with a small introduction from Ida Broken on
This meeting
what
is being recorded.
what it is to be a host for a large ICOM event. And of course, that's all in preparation for the ICOM Netherlands hosting the General Conference in August 2028 in Rotterdam. So we're very keen to showcase that as well today. So, welcome everybody again. Just for those who are late arriving, the session is being recorded. If you wish to watch the session later, it will be up on the ICOM Netherlands website, and you can also direct other people to view that. And of course, we will finish today's session with a Q&A a bit later. So, David, shall I kick off? Shall I give my slides? Okay, I'll share the
Yes.
screen. And oh, I'm not at the beginning. I'm sorry. There we go. We'll start with the beginning slide. Next one. So, welcome everybody today. It's really a pleasure to be here as part of the ICOM Netherlands team. ICOM Netherlands is one of the larger national committees of ICOM. And as we know, ICOM is a global network for cultural heritage. And I've just put a slide here with a reminder of how ICOM is set up. We have an executive board and there is a secretariat in Paris, but we are a member-driven organization that is coordinated through two bodies. One is the Advisory Council, which is the representation of all the national, international, and regional alliances, and the other is the General Assembly, which is all of our members can join that. And for those of you who wish to join our upcoming General Assembly, that happens online and in person in June. 24th and 25th this June, and this will be the also commemorating the anniversary 80th anniversary of ICOM. There'll be a big party online as well as in person in June. If you want more information, do pop an email into Caroline, who is the president of ICOM Netherlands, or even myself. And I gave this slide just as a context to remind everybody that ICOM is a membership organization, and we all join through our country of origin or our working country. So for me, this is ICOM Netherlands, as is for most of you. But ICOM has more than just national committees. We have also 35 international committees, of which ICOM Conservation is also one of the largest. Actually, we have more or less the same number of members as ICOM Netherlands. We reach about 6,000, which is about 10% of the total membership of ICOM. ICOM is now reaching a membership of 60,000 individuals. So I haven't counted in the 60,000 the institutional members. And those members are global. So our international committees are focused on individual areas within the museum functionality. We have international committees for arms and armor, for costume, for ethnographic, for natural history, for also types of museums like regional museums, university museums, and of course conservation, which is really grounds all of those committees because I believe that conservation is paramount and important for all museums and their collections. So ICOM-CC is also one of the older international committees. We've been established in 1967. So next year will be another anniversary year for ICOM conservation. We've just changed our name from ICOM-CC, which is a little bit more oblique, to ICOM conservation, which is very descriptive, and we hope that people understand that change and are moving towards it. We function through also having think tanks, so we call them working groups, and we have 21 working groups, and they provide a network for our museum professionals, curators, conservators, other heritage professions to promote the preservation, conservation of cultural heritage. And we do this through meetings, newsletters, Triennial conferences, webinars, and small get-togethers wherever we travel to. Our vision is really to strengthen and elevate the conservation profession by promoting latest conservation practice and materials through our meetings and dissemination through webinars and gatherings. Um, we had roughly in 2026 about 30 individual events, so we're very apt and used to creating these kind of webinars. They are for members access, but we also open up to non-members as well. And through those, we really promote and advocate for the conservation of cultural heritage. Um, we have, as I mentioned, 21 individual working groups, and you see here a poster. We have a description of each of these working groups on our website, and you can get contact with each of the coordinators through that. And if you're an ICOM-CC member, you can sign up for news and newsletters from each of the working groups of your preference. Um, you are, as an ICOM member, allowed to join one international committee as a voting committee and three others as a member of interest. Members of interest can also sign up to our working groups and receive information from them. And as I mentioned, we have a policy that all of our programming is an open door policy, that we have open access to anybody who signs up to our events. And we do have a robust GDPR protocol in place. So we advertise an event with a sign up sheet, and you can't have an open link to the event. You have to sign up, and then we send you the information of how to join and so on. And if anybody wants more information about the individual working groups, please drop me an email and we can put you in touch with the relevant working group coordinator. And as I mentioned, we have David Cohen here, who is the coordinator of the working group for preventive conservation. Um, every 3 years, ICOM Conservation devises a strategic plan, and this is influenced by the ICOM overarching strategic plan. This is the year where ICOM will change their strategic plan. They have a sort of 6 year process of doing that, and this is the year also where our own committee changes leadership in September at our international conference, our triennial meeting. And so our new directory board will also be changing our objectives accordingly. So for the past 3 years, we have been working to these 5 objectives. As I mentioned, the most important one is to advocate the role of conservators within the museum sector. But we've also been exploring ways to and opportunities to work within the ICOM community. And we are doing that by joining or initiating solidarity projects. Solidarity projects that are funded from the ICOM Secretariat in Paris. And they intend to gather consortiums of national, international, and regional alliances. And over the past 2 years, we have had a project on establishing a foundation for conservation practice in Africa. and one focusing on South and Southeast Asia on using indigenous knowledge in terms of preventive conservation to provide effective solutions for fumigation, for storage, and for conservation treatments. And you can find a lot of that information on our website, and even sign up still to these two projects, and you are then directed to a Padlet community loading page where we have recordings of presentations and very much lots of information, literature, and so on. Our third objective is really to recognize that conservation is a global undertaking, and we are working closely with the Secretariat in Paris and through the International Committee Forum to highlight the need for conservation within all museums. And we're working towards a resolution that will come out hopefully in 2028 in Rotterdam to really have ICOM endorse the fact that conservation is an essential role within the field of museums. And our fourth objective, well, this is why David is here to talk about the topic of sustainability. And at our triennial conference in September this year, we will have a dedicated session, a plenary session, which will gather together all of our working groups to discuss the issue of sustainability and how we can be much more proactive in using sustainability within our daily practice. And our fifth objective is very internally looking, but we try to be very open with our management of the committee, our finances, and to be very professional. Um, so our committee runs on a 3-year process. Our pinnacle of this 3-year is the triennial conference, and Ida Broken will be here in a minute to explain a little bit about that. But we do have a open door policy on our publications, and we have a full back log of all our previously published preprints, almost. I think the first two meetings are still got to be uploaded, but that's 21 conferences, where at each conference there's about 160 individual articles and a number of posters as well. So you can imagine the amount of downloads that you can search. And we've also uploaded many of our working groups' publications, if they have a publication resulting from individual conferences that they organize. And in total, the publications online platform hosts about 4,000 individually downloadable documents. So you can go in and search for your own particular topic and really get to town with finding out not only the latest on that topic, but also past information. Um, we organize working group events. We've moved very much towards a online programming to make ourselves more accessible. And sometimes these events are recorded and we share the recording for a limited period. Last year in 2025, we had about 30 different individual events. So that's almost 4 a month. So we're very active promoting these events, and they're planned and organized by the individual working groups through their coordinators. David is the working group coordinator for preventive conservation. I think you had 2 events last year or 3, and they're
Two.
two. So they're
Yeah.
very much enjoyable to meet. And and finally, what we also try to do is advertise what we've been up to as a committee in our newsletter on board, which is written by the directory board. But again, each of the individual working groups often have a newsletter that comes out periodically. And again, you can go to our website to download those and find out more information. I'm not going to advertise too much the conference because Ida will come in at the end of the session today with more information. But we are now in the last 6 months leading up to our triennial conference. This is an event that takes about 3.5 years to plan. The event will host about 1,000 delegates in the beautiful city of Oslo at the Oslo Congress Center. But our main partner, you see here in the slide, is the National Museum of Norway, which is situated in Oslo. And you can scan the QR code now, but we'll come back with more information later today. So I'm going to hand over now to David, who's going to talk you through sustainability and circular economies. David, please take it away.
Okay, thank you, Kate. Probably you have listened some of these terms. When you work with museums on conservation, there are a lot of concepts that are related together around the term of sustainability. But you can move the slide, Kate, please. Um, but what do we actually mean when we talk about sustainability in conservation? This is a question that we haven't resolved yet, fully resolved. And also, I think it's important to provide a framework for the sustainability within the museum sector. The UN, next slide, please, have promoted this through the Sustainable Development Goals, which are 17. Probably you have watched some of this, but these 17 goals, which are really abstract and developed in a political language, feels to be far away from what we do in conservation and what we do in museums. If you take a look on these 17 goals, you will see that the SDGs doesn't cover one specific goal for the culture, which was a huge debate when the UN was grouping all this together. The problem is that for the UN, the cultural sector is transversal to all of the other ones. But to put things a little bit more complicated, and next, please, um, we have from these 17 goals 169 targets and 231 indicators, which are really, really huge and vast. And it seems to be a problem connecting the UN goals for sustainable development with the field and the actual work of conservators in museums. And not only in museums, but in collections-based institutions such as archives, libraries, and so on. So we have detected this gap, and for this, next please, Kate, we want to uh, design a poll, a survey, to better understand how do this global framework of the SDGs of the UN become daily conservation decisions, because many conservators are not aware of what sustainability means and what the daily decisions connect with this, except probably with environmental sustainability, and because we have energy use, climate control. So we took all the uh, 179 targets and the 70 SDGs, and we put it on terms that we as conservators can understand. So the survey just uh, get downward with these four tracks, I guess, about not only environmental sustainability, but also social. I have a feedback on, yeah, that's fair. Thank you. So we have also social and cultural sustainability, which is not so explicit for us, ethical and collaborative practice, and institutional governance and frameworks. So through these four tracks. Next, please. We have designed this survey and we want you to help us to better understand how this sustainability framework is understood in the daily basis. The survey is available in five different languages, which is French, English, Spanish, Chinese, and Arabic, to cover a more global response to take a look on this. And it will be open until June 13th. So it's not only for ICOM-CC members. You can share this information with all the professionals that you know that maybe work with sustainability or want to be connected with the topic. So thanks for your help. This is a soft launch for this survey, and I hope that you actually can help us to better understand these issues. Thank you.
I'm on mute. Thank you so much, David. I think that was a really clear overview. And I think the only thing we forgot to do is really introduce yourself. So, David Cohen, we've mentioned, is the coordinator for the working group on preventive conservation. But please tell us where you're from and your daily home job or your work life a little bit.
Yeah, I'm come from Colombia. I live here in South America. I've been working in preventive conservation for 25 years. I actually helped UNESCO and ICRAM with the methodology of risk management, which is now a standard for preventive conservation in museums and other uh, collection-based institutions. And after all this, I have joined ICOM-CC. The last triennium, I was assistant coordinator for the preventive conservation working group. And now I take a step uh,
Yeah.
to be the coordinator. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. And you're also a university professor at the Universidad de los
Yes,
Andes.
I work. Yes, I work at the University of Los Andes, which is one of the two huge universities here in Colombia. And yes, I'm preventive conservation professor. That's it.
So we're very lucky to have you with your expertise and your international connections, helping us out with ICOM-CC. But I think that helps ground where this survey is going to be and how we're going to use the survey in the future. So do you want to also explain a little bit about the session that we'll have on Friday afternoon, or should we leave
Yes,
that? Let's do that, and then we'll introduce Ida and the whole conference
yes,
after that.
that's
Yeah.
it. But we want to present the results, which are anonymous, uh, to analyze them in terms of what actually people working on the field seems to connect with sustainability, because it's too abstract, this topic. We hear a lot of sustainability in our daily life, but we don't know exactly how this connect with what we do or what institutions do. And I think this is the first time that this sort of survey is running
Mhm.
on this global scale, because ICRAM is working on this topic as well. They have a program which is called Our Collections Matter. Maybe you have heard about it. But it's about tools related with sustainability that people can use, including, of course, methodologies such as reorg or the risk management method. But they don't just have the whole picture about how conservators, how professionals seem connected or not with sustainability. So this is an effort. We have been working with this survey for almost a year since we have the idea, and we told with ICRAM and Jose Luis Pedersoli. He is the leader of the Our Collections Matter program there. And we started revising all the targets from the SDGs and then trying to aggregate them in terms of what terms in the political language they're written. So it's a huge work, and we hope that we can manage to keep analyzing these results for a while. It depends on how much answers we get from this survey, but I guess that we will have many because these sort of topics that are really common in one way, but at the same time, we don't know what they mean, are interesting people. So on institutions as well. So I guess that we will have a session panel on Friday, the last day of the conference, with other working group coordinators, and we will discuss the results and see future research that is lacking. I mean, where are the gaps and where are the needs for the professionals? That's the point of the whole survey.
Yeah, and I think it's going to give us really good tips and tricks on how to improve our daily practice. I mean, I think we're all aware of green conservation and using greener solvents. And maybe others in the museum field are more aware of um, choosing better packing materials for transporting artworks.
Mhm.
But there's many more things in the museum sector that we could be doing that helps reduce that carbon footprint, but also makes practice much more sustainable. And I'm glad I mentioned our solidarity project because that is also a form of sustainability, as is conservation in itself. We are transmitting material and objects and knowledge to the future, which is a sustainable practice. So I hope that fits in a little bit as well to what we can get out of and realize that we can promote sustainability much more on a daily common language basis.
Yeah, that's it. That's true. That's true. Also, there are on a more detailed level, financial resources related with sustainability that museums are not getting into it because they don't know their sustainability as well.
Yeah. And
So this is
and this
important.
means that
Mm.
museums can also ask for grants and for financial resources in a different manner because they can realize that their actually ongoing practice is a sustainable practice.
Yes,
So
yes.
it's really a question of communication and turning the mirror around so that we can really look at the bigger picture as well.
Yeah, because on the OCM program, they have assessment tool, but it's intended for institutions, just to see how sustainable an institution feels or seems they are. And this survey is on a different level because it incorporates the view of the people, who's actually working. So that's why it doesn't matter if you work in a museum or not. It's how sustainable, how your work, your daily work connects with sustainability and how conscious are you about this? How aware are you about this?
So I'm really looking forward to this Friday panel, but we have to get through the whole rest of the conference before the Friday panel. So I'm actually going
Yeah.
to hand over to Ida now, who is going to explain a little bit about hosting such a big event, and I hope talk a little bit also about the programming for the rest of the week that we have in Oslo, which is a beautiful city. I can highly recommend it. The harbor location is fantastic, and the fact that you can walk from one side to the other so easily just makes it a joy to come to Oslo. So, Ida, I'm going to hand over to you. I believe you've got a little presentation for us, and then we can have a little discussion at the end and open into question and answer from the audience.
I will. Thank you, Kate. I will open my presentation and let's see. There. Do you see it?
Yes.
Yes, good. I'm
But
really,
Ida, you can put it
yeah.
into you full view. At the moment, we see the thumbnails on the left-hand side. So you press play.
Okay, it's in full view on my screen. Let me see.
Maybe just go a little bit more to the.
Let's see. Hmm, how do you do
Otherwise, it's
this?
okay because we see the slides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. My technical ability in Zoom is limited. I apologize. I'm only in Zoom when I'm with ICOM-CC, so you bear with me. At least I wanted to thank you for inviting me to talk today. But I have to say congratulations to the Dutch ICOM for winning the bid on the General Assembly. This is, of course, a bigger event than ICOM-CC, but only so much. And today I will touch upon the motivation behind applying for ICOM-CC Triennial from Norway and what I believe are the outtakes and the legacy of our conference. And I hope that will relate to the Dutch ICOM and maybe inspire for the period you have of planning and enjoying and foreseeing the coming event. Hosting such a large conference is a possibility for national collaboration. Such overarching events allow for collaborations across what potentially could be restrictions between collections and fields of expertise in the museum community. In the Norwegian National Organizing Committee, we come together to highlight world heritage, art icons, key researchers, and the historic investments into the museum field that has, over the last decade, fueled the revitalization of our conservation community. And it's been such a joy for me to be able to collaborate with people who work with rock art or archaeological digs. As a painting conservator, I'm normally not in meetings with them. So it's an opportunity. Examples of the new projects in Norway that really has been
Sorry, Ida.
We're not seeing your slides progress because I think you're in presenter view. Yeah. So we might have to sort that out.
Then I will try and stop sharing. Let me see. Let me go back. Yeah, because so you need to see the images. Window, there, share.
So maybe just don't play the video, just scroll through the slides because I think
like this.
You've got your screen so that we're seeing a different version of the PowerPoint than you. You're seeing the product and we are seeing the presenter view, I think. So just scroll through it like this. It's fine. We see the slides then. Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. Then we are here on new museums. This is the new National Museum. It opened in 2022. It has a new permanent collection exhibition, and the scale of that project is 10,600 square meters of exhibition space, 91 rooms, 5 outside and 86 indoors. And it does display 6,000 to 8,000 objects from the collection. I think I remember standing in the vestibule of the Rijksmuseum in 2018, saying to my technicians, this is the size of our exhibition. You have to imagine we're doing the size, remounting the whole museum and how long it's going to take. Come back to me with numbers. Go and explore. So it was a big project. And then another big project was the Munch Museum. the museum opened its doors to the new building in 2021. And also on the new projects page is the new Viking Age Museum, and this is in its final stages now. And the move of the collection, that is extremely fragile objects, and such as the Oseberg ship that was buried in 834 and excavated in 1904. Has technical problems that really has defined a generation of objects conservators. So it's been, on the trouble list and think table for years. And we really look forward to showing the results of all this work when people come to Norway. And we really hope for a huge Dutch delegation. So, before applying for the conference, my task from my director was to make sure that it was not just a conference for Oslo, that it should actually be a lift and a project for all of Norway. So our national core group, working with the ICOM-CC triennial, represents the east, the west, and the far north of Norway. You can see the main institutions on the slide. And having a national collaboration is, at least to me, it's a strength in the setup. It also creates ownership to the conference in more institutions, and again creates support from a large number of local institutions. So thinking ahead for the Dutch big event, this has been a very positive thing for us to be more than just the organizing city from all of Norway. The ICOM conferences has such an important role to play as they are more international than most other conferences in our community. Brings together new research, individual researchers, institutions, and perspectives from all continents. And I think this is more important than ever. It's really a reason to do this work, to be able to bring people together. And we, of course, hope to have a huge delegation from the Netherlands. And I'll just give you a little introduction film from Oslo.
Unfortunately, we don't hear the sound, but
Really?
maybe you could just give a quick run through of what we're seeing on the screen.
Of course. Some of the pictures showing are from some of the institutions that I've been mentioning. This is the harbor of Oslo with the city hall where we're having a reception. I'll just skip past her because you don't hear her voice, but that's the mayor of Oslo. Welcome you to Oslo and to Norway. Showing the advancements in the conservation field.
While we're listening, how many institutions are hosting technical visits in Oslo?
Oh goodness, it's so much more than just the organizing committee. We've pulled out almost every museum in the city and in the region, and many more outside of Oslo. But if we're thinking of the technical visits in Oslo, we have room for at least 1,000 participants through Wednesday when we open almost every museum in the city for ICOM-CC members. We've focused on really finding the expertise and the researchers in the field, so it's not like a guided tour to any museum. It's really a meeting between experts. So we're arranging the whole conference in person, and this has been a debate on both economy but also on impact. And for this conference to really leave a legacy, it is much more than just the lectures. These technical visits and the meetings between people are part of what we want to leave behind, and the meetings are crucial. So we're arranging technical tours to showcase both the art and culture of Norway, but also our expertise. And we made trips that showcase both unique objects like the Oseberg ship that I mentioned from 834, but also specific conservation challenges and projects that connected to many of the new institutions. I mentioned that we had to make this event for all of Norway, and to allow for exploration of Norway. Some of the technical tours are held in the weekend before and after. We committed to arranging the tours regardless of if there are a few attendees or a fully booked tour. So I looked at the lists today, and today we have somebody registered to every pre and post tour. So we now have to go through with all of them. So you can go to the website and if you'd never been to, for example, Bergen, in the west of Norway, here the tour will showcase the collections of the University of Bergen, their new exhibition, also a new project, and the city's long history. And key to the prosperity of trade was to the city was trade with Germany and the Netherlands. So your country and this city is really connected. We have traces in our language. Some of the, I think it was, particularly from the 1500s, a lot of the trade went between the Netherlands and Norway. And also we see it in the church collections because we haven't had a Protestant wave where things have been destroyed as much as other countries. And even today, some of the Dutch altarpieces are still in the churches from way back. So you can see your own heritage also if you come to Norway. Trondheim is also a location in the middle of Norway, and the tours in Trondheim features musical instrument collection at the Ringve, and also the Nidaros Cathedral, the northernmost stone cathedral in the world. So both these visits will focus on cultural heritage that actually also has to be used, musical instruments that needs to be played, a church that is in use all round, year round. So the northernmost tours, this is long from Oslo. It's quite a trip, but it's tours in Alta, Karasjok, and Kautokeino. And we believe that the focus on indigenous perspectives and intangible culture heritage will be a large part of the legacy of the 21st ICOM-CC triennial. The topic of the conference is cultural connections in conservation, linking past and present and future. And both in the plenary session in Oslo, but also from the tours to the Sami collections in Karasjok and Kautokeino, we hope to share important aspects and ways of working. And finally, a visit to the UNESCO Heritage Site of Rock Art in Alta with Dr. Gjerde, who's a specialist in rock art. September is also the start of the Northern Lights season up north. So if you're lucky, you might see some natural wonders and not just cultural ones. That's at least the tour I'm going on. And again, congratulations on having the next big ICOM General Conference. I hope you will have as much or more enjoyment in arranging and hosting it as we have had so far. And we really hope all of you will come to Oslo in September. But to prepare your event, but also to experience really our conservation community and all the new developments that have been in Oslo. You should, if you have been before, it has changed. The city is different. So it's all the reason to come. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ida. I've very much enjoyed working with you over the last 3 years, and I've been very lucky that we've had 2 meetings in Oslo, and I've explored 2 of those post-conference tour venues, so Bergen and Trondheim, over the last 2 years, and I'm very much looking forward to going up further north to the Alta trip to see the maybe the Northern Lights, but more importantly, the rock art that is there. It is really an amazing event, and I think it takes a lot of dedication and a lot of preparation. We will have 5 days of programming, of which we have 3 half days of plenary sessions, and then 3 full days. Well, the rest of the time is 5 parallel sessions to give us time to present 160 individual oral presentations and 122 poster presentations, as well as a trade fair, which is becoming a sellout trade fair. And all of the associated evening events. We have 2 evening receptions and a conference dinner that is in addition to the registration fee. So it is a mammoth undertaking, and I can't believe you've done this all on your own. So maybe you can tell a little bit about the team that goes with you. And maybe that can also be a bit of inspiration to the Dutch team. And I think we have the chair of the president of ICOM Netherlands here. I think I saw her name in the list, but if not, she can watch it back on the video for advice.
Okay, well, to be able to pull this off, we made a discussion before applying for host that it was necessary to divide between money and content. So how we rigged us up is that it's my museum that takes the economic risk of doing the conference. That means that if not enough people come to Oslo, we lose money. Well, we lose money anyway because the museum is supporting the conference with quite a lot of money to make it more accessible, because we really believe that it's as a big museum, it is our responsibility to partake as a positive force in the conservation field, in the research field, in the museum field. And we're doing this for Norway, we're doing it for the international community as well. And these conferences have such a big and positive off-print afterwards, a legacy. So they decided to go in and take the risk. And then this is also to be able to connect smaller institutions as partners. So what they come in with is the expertise, the content, their unique collections, their local knowledge, their enthusiasm and connections. And so we've divided the administration in a smaller group that is within the National Museum. I have a team of 5 people who work part-time with this and help me and do a wonderful job. This is really, really a team effort. And then our national partners have really really done such an amazing job of finding, because we said you have to take care of every working group. You have to be inside the head of every working group. We have to have some program and content for all the members of ICOM-CC. It has to be something for those that teach, somebody that works with leather, if they are dead set on archaeology, documentation. So I think we've been sitting with the list with all the working groups, and we really worked. And then suddenly we realized that we've been very low on offers for leather. So we did last week or 2 weeks ago, we made a special extra tour for the leather group so that they also can have their specially designed technical tour. So now we also have a golden leather tour on the Wednesday. So now I'm pretty sure that we ticked every box. So it's going to be a conservator around every corner in Oslo. Oslo is a small town, so it's going to be pretty busy. Yeah, I think it's important to have a small core group that has the means to make decisions, so that you don't have to call 40 people to make a decision, but that you have the commitment of the whole country, so that it's a big team, but that the decision making is, it really has to be small. So I think that makes it easier to succeed.
And we're 6 months, less than 6 months now. Oh my God,
less.
panicking.
Yeah.
But I mean, when did you start this planning session? Because we are 21 working groups, and ICOM has 35 international committees, and in the ICOM General Conference, there's one day where the committees are linked with local museums, and they can host their own program for that day. So it's a similar idea of supporting the whole network, and letting everybody have their own specialization represented. And of course, you can jump from one. You don't have to go to your own international committee session. You can also choose to go to another international committee session, and we do the same with our working groups. But I mean, coordinating that fact that you've got over 1,000 technical visit places, that's for each individual participant, but representing 21 different working groups, that must have taken a lot of planning and coordination. So, give the Dutch a bit of a planning schedule. When should they start?
As soon as they decide they are having the event, or they should have started, really. We started connecting with special institutions and individuals before we applied. And then this was the first thing to really get sorted. As soon as we got the bid, then we could reconnect with everyone that had given their incentive that they were interested and wanted to be part of it. And then we set up meetings really with local institutions as soon as we got back out of the online meeting in Paris, where we were told that we won. I've divided up the task so that we had one coordinator looking at the technical tours on the Wednesday, so that she could have an overview of who had committed, who were the contact person, if they needed a bus, if they had special things that we needed to make visible on the webpage. We made sure we had a form that was standardized so that everyone participating had to fill in the same information. Provide images. That's a huge job to really be able to show people what they are about to see and encounter, and get the credits right. Yeah, so I think having a good PCO to help you is also really key. That's worth the money. It's worth investing in a professional conference organizing company that can do the ticketing, that can help you with the web page. I think if I had to work inside the museum with those two tasks, that would have taken more time because we are not structured or rigged for this kind of operation, this kind of amount of tickets and special needs and different classes of tickets and prices and you name it. So yeah, having a lean organization, but also really finding a good professional conference organizer to help you, and also work with local tourist offices if there are any. Probably there are many that also can help with extra information on yeah, what to do when you visit and so on and so on. Yeah, it feels like being a tourist agency after some time, but a good one for the particularly culture loving, warm and fuzzy museum people. So yeah.
But I think that that's the point, is that people are coming not just for the program, but for the venue.
Yeah.
And if you make it warm and enticing, you get more people coming. So we're seeing that in action, because we're still a week away from the early bird deadline. That's the 15th of May.
Mm.
And we are almost touching the 500 mark of delegates.
Mm.
So this is a really huge achievement that we've done that outreach, and that the museum uh, and the venue and the city are really attractive. And I think that PR aspect has really fed in. Events like this where we're showcasing the event, but having, as you said, the right images to
Mm.
to advertise has also helped, I think, a lot. And uh, especially making sure that those technical visits are highlighted so everybody feels like it's their own trip. It's not something that, oh, well, I'll go, but only for that bit. It's really
Mm.
a really a pleasure. I've been working with you for the last couple of years on this, and we're going to have such fun in
Yes.
yeah, in Oslo there. So maybe we can open up the floor to questions to both David and to Ida. I see there is quite a long question in the chat already for David, who's been answering it. But perhaps, Adriana, if you would like to open your mic and take the floor and explain your question in your own words, would that be possible?
Yeah, I'm not sure what my camera is doing right now.
No, it
Oh,
isn't.
it's
Okay,
my
yeah.
nice background. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. I don't think I actually had a question that was more a statement. I think it's because I'm sorry, it's the strong opinion, but it's because I'm a little frustrated with some presentations I'm trying to follow to get into sustainable preventive conservation, which is in my head, preventive conservation is the solution for sustainable way of dealing with yeah, cultural heritage. And I'm trying to explain that to many, many people that have never heard of preventive conservation before. And it's a bit my way of the way I'm doing my work now. Um, but it helps if you can hear other people's opinion about it. But apparently I'm on a different level of explaining preventive conservation. So but it's always nice to meet colleagues, so I will sign up for the working group, I think, and hope to be there in Rotterdam.
Yeah,
So
you're welcome to the
yes,
group.
so, thank you very much
And
for that.
also, I share your perspective, you know. because sometimes preventive conservation is not fully connected with sustainability and in terms of what people think about this. So please, if you can fill the survey, I will really appreciate it.
Yeah, I try. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I think, David, we have the links up on our website, don't we, for the survey? So maybe I can pull up the web page to share the links again in the chat. But have we got any other
Yes.
questions? Also for Ida, I think I do see Caroline there. I don't know, Caroline, if you've got any questions.
Hi, everyone. No, no further questions. Thanks very much. I was in the car, not very sustainable, but I was listening in, so I've heard all the information and all the advice. Thanks you very much for explaining everything. And I start to realize now what we've started here in the Netherlands to organize the general assembly and conference. Oh my God, you only have 1,000 and it's already a lot of work, I imagine. So, well, maybe I should join you in Oslo in September to learn more. Not only on your topic, but also on organizing a conference like this. So
A good idea.
yeah, I
Yeah,
applaud you and thank you very much for all your suggestions and maybe afterwards we can have another chat, in October when you've really calmed down a little bit and are ready to look back on the all the meetings and have some another chat about all the learnings. And
absolutely. I mean, you're all welcome to Oslo. If you make it there, Caroline, give me or get my email from Kate or find it or write to the webpage of the conference. All the emails to the conference goes to me. So you will find me.
okay.
And we can have a talk on how we rigged it and what was difficult and what is easy, on what worked for us. And then you can also see if you agree on our choices and what actually works on site. I guess you will also have a big discussion on in-person and digital, and I think that's something absolutely we should talk about before you decide on what to do.
Yes, okay, will do. Well, thanks very much, and good luck and enjoy this conference in September.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you so much, Caroline, and I hope to see you in Oslo. But we'll catch up at the AVL. When's that in May, isn't it?
That's right. The end of May, we have
Yeah.
our General Assembly within the Netherlands with our board and our members here. So there's more food for thought.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Does anybody have any other questions for David? Well, I can just encourage everybody to fill out the form. You can. We didn't do it in Dutch. We should have done it in Dutch, David, as well. But maybe we can do a quick translation now. I think the Dutch can speak English perfectly well enough to fill out the form in English. Um, but I just want to say thank you both for giving up your time very early in the morning and late in the afternoon. It's really been a pleasure sitting on the sofa with both of you and hearing both of these concepts that will come together in Oslo in September. Um, I put in the chat the conference website. You can find out more information about our wonderful plenary session on cultural conversations in conservation. Oh, it's a tongue twister, isn't it? Cultural connections in conservation. And we've got a really amazing lineup of keynote speakers for that session. Another great keynote for our triennial lecture on the Monday, and then 160 different presentations to choose from. And our audience tends to hop from one hall to the other. So the speakers have to be pre-warned that half the audience might get up at the last 5 minutes and disappear out into the next room to hear the next speaker. But we keep everything very regimented to time so that we can accommodate everybody's desires to see and hear everything. And we will also be very much enjoying those technical visits and discovering more about Norway. So thank you both again. It's been wonderful. And well, I'll see both of you before then, but yeah, looking forward to September.
Thank you, everyone, and really nice to meet you. And don't forget, Kate, that early bird ends at May the 15th.
Yeah.
And on the Friday, we're having a big party at the National Museum. We kicked out all the audiences and we have the whole museum to ourselves.
That's the Friday, the final day of the conference in September, not this coming Friday to celebrate the early bird deadline.
Yeah. So we have the exhibitions open and a DJ that is working in storage. So he's very preventive. So we have a preventive DJ.
That's pretty cool. That's new information. I didn't know that the DJ was from a conservation background. So that's pretty cool.
Now I'm coming. Now I'm booking my flight already.
Definitely. You should start by that.
Yeah,
Mentioning that. It's a big hook, you know?
Yeah. And for everyone that signs up that go over my threshold, we're having more drinks and food at the party. So that's how it's now being evaluated. Yeah.
And so what either means is that we need to beat the record from Valencia, where we had 101 Dutch delegates or people who are working and living in the Netherlands and part of the Netherlands ICOM and or registered to as living in the Netherlands. And we're now at 50. So we've still got a little way to go. So spread the news amongst all your Dutch colleagues that we will be ready and waiting with the storage DJ in Oslo for everybody.
Great. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Have a good day, David.
Thank you.
Have a good weekend.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye-bye.
All right.